FHM.
Do we know about that? Oh, we do?
The camera has speed.
Okay, I like that.
So
Yeah,
her
no,
Brits
I know the picture.
Her Brits
It was for
picture?
Esquire original.
Okay.
I mean, no, Vanity Fair. Okay.
Cindy, I used to have some money before I started collecting Cindy Crawford covers in lieu of this interview. Then I had to stop. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, do you even, you told me you had not even seen this one, for
Well,
example.
not that one because it's in London, you said.
Yeah.
So I haven't been there lately.
But you remember taking the picture.
Yeah, that was her Brits. One of my friends took that picture.
Do you ever take pictures and you see them say, I don't even remember taking that picture?
No, it's funny, even just 2 weeks ago I was going through all my, like I have boxes of old things, and I remember every photographer, where we shot it. It's amazing that, because you have something tangible to look at, and then all of a sudden the memories come back. Sometimes they show up in places that you didn't think, like on a T-shirt or coffee cup or, something like that. But
I was reading an interview and I'd forgotten that really how smart you were as a high school girl, young college girl. I think you would have been a very disruptive force as a chemical engineer.
I never really wanted to be a chemical engineer. It's just that my parents couldn't afford to send me to Northwestern. So the only way for me to go was on an academic scholarship. And where they had scholarships available, they needed women in engineering. So I was like, well, why not? I can go for 2 years and then switch majors. I don't think I ever would have been there. I don't really even know what a chemical engineer does. I mean, I know they mix formulas and things, but I was good at chemistry and physics and calculus.
Were you one of those girls that sat in front of me in biology
Yes.
when I didn't want to cut up the frog? I let her do it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't into frog cutting, but I was good. Like, I would have solved the equation faster than you probably.
No question about that. In a heartbeat. And then I'd been looking at you and I would have been totally distracted and all that anyway. Is acting fun? Is it like modeling? Because you're acting when you're doing this kind of picture, you're posing, you've got to have an attitude.
Well, it's different. It's different because when you're doing a picture, the whole point of it is how it looks, and how it appears. It's all from the outside in. Like, I always explain it this way. When a photographer wants you to smile, they say smile. When a director wants you to smile, they give you a motivation for being happy. And then the smile comes or doesn't. And sometimes what doesn't come is even better. But you try to create the happiness inside, whereas when you're modeling, you smile. You can fake it. So it's different. And also with a camera and a photographer, you do things for the camera. And I think my experience, which is limited, it's one movie, was that I tried to forget about the camera. Sometimes it was bad. Like Billy was much better at if I would get in his way sometimes if they were doing his close-up, and I would see him inching over because I would, like my head, they would be shooting the back of my head because I would forget that the camera was there. And I think that's technique that probably comes with experience that if I do more, I'll get. But
Was it weird when you finally saw your movie, project? You've seen pictures of yourself your whole life, but,
yeah, but
it must be
small.
nothing like seeing yourself like,
No.
Attack of the Killer Woman up there.
It's really hard to watch yourself and look at yourself.
Even though you're used to seeing yourself.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time watching the video playback because I'm used to seeing myself on TV even. So that size I could handle. But when my mole got this big, I got scared.
It is different. It must be just very strange. And a lot of actors can't watch themselves. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that, I didn't go to dailies. Once in a while I would go, especially during an action sequence where it wasn't so much about the acting, but it made me very self-conscious to listen to the dialogue, or you start thinking, what should I do with my hand? And I thought it was better for me just to go in and let the director direct me and let whatever happen, and that was that was all the input I could handle on my first one.
Is it sometimes scary being Cindy Crawford?
Well, I mean, I think what's scary, like in my life right now, is, in a way, is that I ventured out and I tried something new, and you open yourself up again. But then I think, well, I don't want to be the kind of person that doesn't try anything new just because I'm afraid. Because otherwise, what will I do? I'll just continue modeling until they don't want to take my picture anymore, and then, then what? I'll disappear and no one will hear it.
But just the whole thing of people looking at you all the time. I almost had a wreck on Melrose one time. You got out of a limousine. I said, that was Cindy Crawford, doing this, and I almost ran over a taxi.
So it's scarier for you
So
than
it's
it is
certainly
for me.
scarier, when you're Cindy Crawford. I mean, but isn't it a little strange sometimes when you get a little weirded out when people are just kind of like you're almost you are a beautiful woman, no question about that, but like a freak show almost. You're like, God, Cindy Crawford.
Sometimes you feel a bit like a freak show. But, I think that having really good friends and being close with your family and just focusing on the things in your life that are solid and real, that it makes it, Like my friends, like we'll go shopping in Manhattan, and I'll go walking around with a girlfriend of mine, and she'll get more freaked out than I will, because she's like, how can you stand all those people watching you? But I'm not aware of it. Yeah, I'm just focused on the person that I'm with and what I'm doing. Because if I let all of that in, I would have like overload.
You'd be nuts. Nice meeting you finally.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.